Most plant owners are killing their plants slowly and they don't even know it. The soil, that's the problem. Not the watering schedule, not the lighting, not the fertilizer, the soil. And today, I'm going to give you the exact recipe, the perfect soil mix that every plant loves, the one that most growers never figure out on their own. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll never buy a bag of store-bought potting mix without thinking twice again. Let's start with why most store-bought mixes fail your plants. You open the bag, it looks fine, dark, fluffy, smells earthy, but give it 2 weeks in a pot and it compacts, it turns dense and heavy. Water starts pooling on top instead of moving through. The roots sit in moisture for too long, oxygen gets cut off and root rot sets in. That's not bad luck, that's bad soil structure. Store-bought mixes are often loaded with peat moss, cheap fillers, and bark that breaks down fast, and once they break down, the whole structure collapses. Your roots are left suffocating in soggy, airless soil. That is the #1 silent killer of houseplants and container plants worldwide. So what does a root actually need to thrive? 3 things: water retention, drainage, and oxygen. And here's the secret most people miss: you need all 3 at the same time, perfectly balanced. Not too wet, not too dry, never compacted. Roots need to drink, then drain, then breathe. When soil holds a little moisture, drains the excess fast, and stays loose enough for air to move through, that's when roots explode with growth. That's when you see your plants pushing out new leaves, building strong stems, drinking up nutrients efficiently. Every ingredient in the perfect soil mix is there for one of those 3 reasons: water, drainage, or oxygen, remember that. Now let's get into the recipe. The all-purpose soil mix that works for the vast majority of plants: tropicals, herbs, vegetables, perennials, most houseplants. Here it is. 50% Coco Coir, 25% Perlite, 25% worm castings or finished compost. That's it, 3 ingredients, simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. Let me break down exactly what each one does so you understand why this formula works. Coco Coir is the base of your mix. It's made from coconut husks, a natural byproduct, and it does something peat moss never does consistently: it holds moisture evenly without compacting. It stays fluffy, it stays aerated. Even after months in a container, Coco Coir holds its structure. Your roots can push through it easily. It also has a neutral pH, which means it's not going to fight your plants chemically. 50% of your mix is Coco Coir because it's the foundation, the home your roots actually live in. Perlite is next. Those small white particles you see in premium potting mixes. Perlite is volcanic glass that's been heated until it pops like popcorn into a lightweight, porous particle. It does not hold water, that is the point. Every time you water, excess moisture drains through the perlite fast, and as it drains, it pulls fresh oxygen down into the root zone. 25% perlite means your mix will never waterlog. It means your roots always have access to air. This is the ingredient that prevents root rot at the structural level. Worm castings or finished compost, the final 25%, is your nutrition engine. Worm castings are pure biological fertilizer. They're packed with beneficial microbes, slow-release nutrients, and natural growth hormones. They feed your plant gently, steadily, over months. No chemical burn, no nutrient spike that stresses the roots, just consistent biology-driven nourishment. This is why plants in this mix look healthier longer without constant fertilizing. The soil is working for them. Now let's mix it. Grab a bucket, any large container works. For every 4 cups of material total, add 2 cups of Coco Coir, 1 cup of perlite, 1 cup of worm castings. Scale that up for larger batches. Pour your Coco Coir in first, break up any clumps. Add the perlite, mix it through the coir so it distributes evenly. Add the worm castings last, fold everything together. You want a mix that looks loose, varied in texture, and feels light in your hand. Not dense, not sticky, not powdery. If you squeeze a handful and it clumps slightly then falls apart, that's perfect structure. Now let's customize it fast, because not every plant wants the exact same thing. Succulents and cacti need more drainage. Push perlite up to 40% and drop the coir down to 40%. Moisture-loving plants like ferns, calatheas, and peace lilies want a little more water retention. Add an extra scoop of coir and reduce perlite slightly. Heavy feeders like tomatoes, peppers, and leafy vegetables give them more worm castings up to 30% so the slow-release nutrition stays consistent through the growing season. These are small adjustments with massive results. Avoid these common mistakes. Never use garden soil in containers. Garden soil compacts severely in pots, blocks drainage entirely, and introduces pests and disease. Do not overpack the mix when potting up. Fill loosely, tap the pot gently, never press it down hard. Always use pots with drainage holes. No drainage hole means nowhere for excess water to escape, and even the best soil mix will eventually waterlog without it. And don't skip the perlite trying to save money. That single ingredient is what keeps the oxygen flowing. Here's a quick drainage test you can do yourself. Pot a plant in this mix. Water it thoroughly until water runs freely from the bottom. Watch how long it takes. With this mix, water should drain within 30 to 60 seconds of reaching the bottom. The soil surface should feel barely moist within a day, not soggy, not bone dry. Compare that to store-bought mix. Same water, same pot, you'll often see it sitting wet for 2, 3, even 4 days. That extra moisture is exactly where root rot begins. The test proves why structure matters more than any ingredient alone. This mix works because it respects the science of roots. Roots need to breathe, nutrients need to release slowly. Soil needs to support life, not just fill a pot. When you get the structure right, everything else in your plant care routine gets easier. Less overwatering, less rot, more growth, more resilience. Mix this up this week, try it on one plant and watch what changes. Drop your plant type in the comments. I'll tell you exactly how to adjust the recipe for it. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe to Plants Theory, and stay tuned, because every week we're breaking down the real science behind why plants thrive.